大谷翔平選手はアストロズ戦に先発登板し、7回被安打4、2失点の好投でしたが、味方援護がなく、1対2で敗退しました。本日はペドロマルティネス氏が試合前に、投手大谷の本当の凄さを熱弁しました。試合後の両チーム監督を呼び、大谷のコメントと合わせて訳しました。
Inside, thrilled to have you with us. We missed you all week long. Did someone say tacos? Curtis Granderson.
Today is the day.
He sat up straight. Jimmy
Taco
Rollins.
Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo.
That's
Hey!
Oh boy.
Gotta get it going.
We're in rare form. Pedro Martinez, the Hall of Famer. What a matchup we have for you tonight. Last time Shohei pitched on TBS, what happened? Magic happened. Let us take you back. He made us all look like mere mortals. You remember the greatest individual game ever. With my own eyes, struck out 10, hit 3 home runs. You hear me? Struck out 10, hit 3 bombs. What?
You can't do that?
I could. In Little League.
And don't forget.
When I was 5.
Don't forget, huge amount of Mexicans and remembering Fernando Valenzuela, Cinco de Mayo.
That's right.
For the LA Dodgers should be special.
That is absolutely right. And the continuation of greatness. Look at this, Pedro Martinez. You are one of, if not the greatest to ever do it. Can you put into perspective the totality of talent we're seeing from Shohei Ohtani?
Well, Shohei Ohtani seems to be stronger mentally, and his determination to do whatever he does is probably better than the stuff he brings over. 100 wipeout slider, wipeout split, and also cutters. I think all of those are way above average, but I think his determination and his mindset, the way he sets himself to do things, I think is even better than.
That's interesting. Than the stuff.
Than the stuff and the hitting and everything.
0.78 ERA. And he said it, hitting. A couple starts ago, Dave Roberts said, you know what? When you're starting, not just 2 jobs, you're going to have 1 job.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to pitch. You like that?
I do like it. We get to see his greatness, and we're witnessing greatness every time he steps on the field, whether it's as a pitcher or as a guy in the box. Shohei has done everything in this game. MVPs, got him.
Yep.
World Series championships, got him. What's the one thing he hasn't done? Rookie of the year, got it. The only war you can win once. What's the one thing that he doesn't have? That's a Cy Young. And you can bet.
Just change your voice.
You can see every time he's out there, he's going to prove I'm going to win Cy Young. And when it happens, Pedro, not if, but when it happens, I think the conversation's over. We get to witness the greatest player of all time.
Ooh,
I think we already are witnessing the greatest player of all time.
I mean, remember in Legion Baseball when little Jimmy would try to, hit one out and then pitch 3 innings. He's doing that on the biggest
How'd you know they called
stage.
him Little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy, let me just.
We were 5 years old, Legion Baseball.
Oh, okay.
And one to continue to excel, eventually over time, you start to be better at one than the other. He continues to hit, continues to pitch. His velocity is going up. His stuff is getting better. When he's hitting, he's shown that he can be one of the best hitters of all time. So you combine all 2 of those together, and the fact they're going to give him his legs some rest by not hitting and pitching on the same days. Like, Jimmy, you know how it is. I was always worried. If he gets a triple and then has to come back out there and throw, what's that going to do for him? Now all he has to do is just go ahead and throw and sit back down for a little bit and come back out there. That does a lot for you.
He can relax
that would be the only concern I will have about Shohei probably pursuing a Cy Young, is the wear and tear that his body is going to take. Because I know what it takes to be out there every 5 days and take 30 outings, 33 outings.
What does it take, Pedro? In between the starts, take me through the day after you pitch, then the day after. What are you doing?
He does have a special routine that he does, and it's unique only to Shohei Ohtani's body. Like what I had to do was a lot of work, a lot of leg work, a lot of abs, and I was just pitching. And it took so much from me to actually finish the season and finish it healthy so that we could go into the postseason and then add whatever we needed to add to end up winning. But for Shohei Ohtani, the only thing that I feel like it will be in between his Cy Young will be, running every day, having to do so much to actually keep his body healthy. That's the only thing. But his mindset is ready to go get a Cy Young. His mindset is ready to go get whatever he says he's going to get in baseball. And it's starting to get boring for Shohei Ohtani. That's why he's probably not going to hit anymore. He's tired of doing that.
He's tired.
Now
I've already mastered it.
He's going to go for the Cy Young. And the next time he wins the Cy Young, which I think he would if he stays healthy, I think he's going to go for 50 or maybe 40 games closed. That would
He's going to be a closer after that.
He's going to be a closer after that and then do everything that nobody has done ever in baseball.
Like I say, he's going to be the greatest of all time. It's not going to be a discussion. When his career is all said and done, look, we could talk about guys that were the greatest hitters, guys that were the greatest pitchers. We're talking about the greatest of all time because he does both. He can beat you with his legs. He's proven that. He can beat you with the bat. He's proven that. And he's proven once again that when he's on a bump, he can beat you with his arm. I'm just saying, throw it out there. You heard it today.
Heard it today.
Shohei's going to be the greatest of all time.
Ooh. Wow. Okay, you want to see what he did last time out. It was against the Marlins, 9 strikeouts. And you have to, Jimmy, you're going to say sit fastball, and Curtis, you're going to say sit fastball. But he can beat you in so many ways. You have to cover 97. You have to cover 74. How do you do that?
And nothing is straight. You know, everything is moving. Look at the graphics here. It's going left. It's going right. There's even rise and there's sink. Plus he's changing speeds. When you can throw it up there close to 100.
Look at this.
And then pull back all the way down to 70. You know, we were talking about it beforehand. How do you gear up for that? And he does an amazing job of making everything look the same. And there's so many different pitches. In a 0-0 count, in a 3-2 count, and everywhere in the middle, it's hard to get comfortable against him.
And the beauty of Shohei Ohtani is that his concentration level is like off the charts. Because sometimes you face pitchers and you probably think, well, he's going to lose it somewhere. He's going to become erratic or lose his composure on the mound. No.
That was you.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with Shohei. And I think he's stronger, like I said before, mentally, and his determination is at a level that none of us can probably understand or explain.
You can.
Well, I've done it, but only in one area of the game. But this guy's been able to handle himself mentally and prepare himself physically, and his determination level to go for some of the greatest things that you can achieve in baseball to another level. This guy is very unique, and you don't see him change his mindset ever in anything he does. And that's what makes him so unique. You're not going to have this guy lose his concentration in anything he decides to do.
We are witnessing a Dodger dynasty.
What did this swing by Walker maybe do for you guys after Ohtani was so powerful? Yeah, that was a good fastball in, and Walker just got the barrel out and kept that ball fair. We need a little spark, a little slap like that to Ohtani early just to get us going, just to get one run across the board. Score first.
With Shohei, I mean, it did feel like this was essentially a pitcher's duel tonight. For him to get through 7 innings his first time as a Dodger, I mean, what was standing out about his performance? And I know there was the 2 blemishes of the home runs, but what were you just kind of seeing with him and his performance on the mound?
Good outing, really good outing. I thought fastball was really good. I thought he was using the curveball, which wasn't great tonight, but the sweeper was good when it needed to be. I thought he was very efficient, being able to get through 7. You know, it gives up a homer to Walker, but that's 98, 99 up and in. Got to give credit to Walker right there, and then the homer to the lefty. You know, just a ball down, gets over the Crawford box, and that's baseball. But outside of that, really good, and unfortunately we couldn't get him a win, but he did a nice job of preserving the bullpen, going deep in the game, and giving us a good chance to win tomorrow.
Central starts for Shohei, you guys haven't scored for him, and he didn't hit in 2 of those. How much harder does it become when he isn't in the lineup?
Well, I think for me it's hard to play both sides, and I appreciate, respect the question, but you can't have it where he's not playing well or not swinging well when he is pitching, and then the questions are, when he's not, why isn't he? You're not scoring because he's not in the lineup. So I think for me it's the process of taking care of him, and that's number one. his health. And I think we're doing as good a job as we can do with that. And, when games that he's not hitting while pitching, we just got to find a way to score runs. So, that's baseball. And, I don't really have an answer.
I think you mentioned with the situational hitting like the last couple of weeks that part of it might be like guys are looking for their swing, maybe focusing too much or just more on that than their approach. Like, have you felt that way at all, just with some of the missed opportunities that have popped up here recently? And is that something that at this point of the year, like, is kind of one of those like things you got to balance as a hitter because you're trying to like find your swing but also produce in those moments?
I do think so. I do think so. That's not the case tonight. Trying to get a 2-out hit with guys in scoring position is not a typical situational at bat. There have been times over the last 2 weeks where we have needed to get a ground ball or a fly ball that we haven't done. That's different. Tonight, that wasn't the case. And I don't know if, what each individual hitter is thinking about in that moment, whether they're trying to, execute an at bat for the team or thinking about their mechanics. I can't read into that. But yeah, tonight that wasn't the case.
Missed chances with the bases loaded kind of felt like a recurring thing too, and like that specific kind of spot to not be able to turn those into some bigger innings.
I don't think so. I think that tonight, we needed a 2-out hit with the bases loaded. He got into a count and hit a ball to the shortstop, and it was a fielder's choice. The other bat, he got behind the count and found a way to get a 3-2 count and turn into a double play, but he was fighting. There's many opportunities with the bases loaded with 2 outs that we didn't come through with 2 outs and less 2 outs, and it wasn't the 9-hole. So it's certainly not the 9-hole. Yeah.
Shohei, first let's just start with, you've talked about wanting to get into the 7th inning. For you to just navigate through them, be very efficient, how did you find just what was working for you and how you were able to get deeper into this game today?
効率よく7回までいけたっていう要因は何でしょうかと。
捉えたのがホームランだったので、それ以外は良かったですけど、逆に言えば1本が1点につながるような失投だったのかなと思います。
The hits were homers, so in that sense it was efficient, but something that wasn't ideal.
What do you think led to the 2 hits that were the homers? Did you think it was location? Was it execution?
なんかその要因として打たれた理由としてはホームラン。
どっちも狙ったところと逆だったので、それに尽きるかなとは思いますけど、それでもファウルにならずにしっかりインゾーンに収められてはいるので、打った方ももちろん素晴らしかったですし、失投は失投でしたけど、もう少しいいスポットに投げれば違った結果にはなったのかなと思います。
Just really mislocated through to the area, completely opposite of where I was intending to. If the execution was better, I think it wouldn't have been a homer, but they also put good swings as well.
Shohei, I know you've been very clear about wanting to do what's best for the team and whatever the team decides, but is it hard at all in a tight game like this to not be able to affect it on the offensive side?
チームのことを考えてのそのピッチングだけだと思うんですけども、今日みたいにその接戦の中でバッティングできないっていうちょっと悔しい思いっていうのはありますか？
そうですね。オフェンス、自分も含めてあまり調子は良くないので、なんていうんですかね、ピッチングに集中した方がいい結果がチームにとって今は出るんじゃないかなっていう判断だと思いますし、自分の状態が良ければね、打ってほしいっていう状況になるんじゃないかなと思うので、そこは自分の状態をしっかり、上げていくっていうのがまず初めにやるべきことかなと思ってます。
I think it's offense, including myself, hasn't done a great job scoring runs. And if there was a situation where, if I was hitting well, I'm sure the team would want me to pitch and hit as well. But I understand in a situation where, hey, just focus on pitching, turn the page on the hitting. I understand that the team is, might think like that.
What do you think happened for you offensively, and do you think the return to full-time pitching might have played a role? Maybe the slump being a little bit longer than usual for you?
一応スランプは続いてるっていうのは、そのピッチングに戻ったっていうのがもう 一つの要因なんでしょうかねと。
そうですかね、まあ、あまりそうだとは思ってはないですし、時期的にこう落ちる時期ではもちろんあるので、そのいいところと悪いところを探りながら入っている、期間っていうのはあんまりこうよくはないものですけど、まあ、それでもあんまりここまでヒットが出ないっていうことはないとは思うので、まあ、フォアボール取りながらもしっかり、まあ、インプレーになった時にいい結果が生まれるためにはしっかりとした構えからしっかりとしたスイングが必要かなと思ってます。
Yeah, I think I don't think so personally that the pitching has been affecting my hitting, but at the same time it has been a little bit longer than my expectation in terms of the hitting side of things. So, you know, I've been getting on base, which is a good thing. I just want to make sure that the quality of balls in play are better, and you know, it's not ideal that I'm trying to find that in the game, but you know, I just have to continue to do what I'm supposed to do.